You have a friend. Let's call him Kevin.
Kevin asked to borrow a couple $100 from you. Do you lend it to him?
You're probably thinking that depends on my relationship with Kevin.
Is he trustworthy, or is he a smart man? Has he borrowed money from me before? And if so, did he pay it back? Has he borrowed money from anybody else I know? How did that go? What's his reputation?
In asking these questions and others, you are essentially assessing Kevin's credit worthiness.
Borrowing money is as old as civilization itself, and for a long time, it was based on personal relationships and recommendations.
The only way for a lender to know whether they could trust someone to pay them back was by knowing them personally or if someone they trusted vouched for them.
But when credit became big business, lending companies needed a better, more effective way to decide who they could trust. Enter Fair, Isaac and Company.
In 1956, Fair, Isaac and Company, a data analytics company, created the first mathematical models that used the borrower's history to measure their risk.
In 1989, they debuted the first industry standard algorithm, the FICO Score. This formula was soon adopted by the big three U.S. credit reporting bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion.
But what is a credit score and how does it work? Let's look at the US system, as it's very similar to how credit appraisals work here in Trinidad and Tobago. The FICO score is a 3-digit number between 300 and 850 that indicates to a lender how safe it is to lend money to an individual.
A high score tells the lender you are likely to pay the money back as per the agreement. As such, you'd probably receive a loan with good terms.
A low score signifies that you may have some issues servicing the debt. If the lender is willing to offer you credit at all, they would likely seek to be compensated for the additional risk by charging a higher rate of interest.
That said, it's important to remember this number doesn't represent who you are as a person, or even whether you are financially responsible. There are people with high credit scores who live paycheck to paycheck, and people with low credit scores who save like squirrels.
Your credit score only reflects your past relationship to debt. Every time you borrow or repay money, like taking out a credit card or making a car payment, the lender reports that activity to the credit bureau, where it goes into the machine.
In Part 2, we will discuss the various elements that make up your credit score and how it all comes together.
And that's it for Money Talks Credit Scores Part 1. Stay tuned for Part 2.